Good evening, everybody. My name is Joe, and this is my little corner of the internet. Welcome to Darkness Exposed, where we bring darkness to light. Tonight, we are going to be talking about Kylie Rodney, some other cases that are not getting the viral media attention that Kylie has got, I should say nationwide and worldwide media attention that Kylie has gotten. I am joined tonight by Frankie Rose and by True Crime and Coffee. Good evening, ladies.
Hello there.
Hello, Joe.
Hello. All right. So, first thing we are going to talk about real quick is if you are at all familiar with the Kylie Rodney case, there are she is not the only one missing in that general geographic area. Over the past month, in approximately 120-mile radius, there is a 12-year-old missing. Her name is Level Depente. She disappeared on August 11th. There's one post from law enforcement and two local news stories. Jeanette Pantoja and Juan Zavala, they were returning home from, or they had gone to a car show that actually Kylie was supposed to go to, but ended up not going, which is it's a car show that's held every year, hot August nights, and they vanished from there on the 7th. And then, of course, we have Kylie, and she has gotten the most media attention. When before I started on YouTube and on other platforms, I followed the Gabby Petito case, and people were bringing up about the missing white woman syndrome. And at the time, I thought people were full of it. But now, seeing the cases that have not gotten the attention that Kylie is getting, every missing child and every missing person deserves to be found, and they deserve an army of support behind them. And so we are part of a real crime team. We don't call ourselves true crime, we call ourselves real crime because there's too much drama in true crime, and we want to look at the facts. What do we know? What is factual and what is not? What is factual and what is foolery? And so we're going to take a look at the actual timeline today. We're going to break it down and discuss, what possible theories we can get from the facts. Because law enforcement, they choose every word for a reason. And so every word that they tell the public should be looked at with a critical eye, and really processed and analyzed to see, okay, what exactly are they telling us? And there is another case that Arctic Fox True Crime, if you are not following the team, make sure to check the description box. I will go through and put all of our team's links in there. Arctic Fox True Crime is a powerhouse for the missing. And we were talking about Jalissa, who vanished from Selma, California on August 7th. And so I'm going to play this through real quick just to get these cases more attention. And then we'll start to go down into the Kylie Rodney timeline. And then we'll talk about Samuel Hartman, who is still at large and haven't really gotten much on from media on him at all. Oh, good. Arctic's coming on with us. Hey, Arctic. Glad you're here.
Just had to finish my cigarette.
Hey, Arctic.
Hey.
All right.
How you
doing? I'm going to go ahead and run through this one real quick.
What is going on, YouTube? This is Arctic Fox. Welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm going to be looking at the missing persons case of a young lady out of California that's been missing for a week as of today. And no, I'm not talking about the case of Kylie Rodney, who's missing out of Truckee, California. Today, I'm talking about another missing young woman who deserves to be getting as much coverage as Kylie is, but unfortunately is not getting any media attention and is not getting any coverage on these YouTube streets. And that is the missing persons case of 22-year-old Jalissa Fuentes, who is missing. And they're actually having a prayer vigil for this young woman tonight. Today marks a week that Jalissa has been missing, and her case is not getting any coverage. And her family is getting desperate after searching for her since she went missing last Sunday. Jalissa went to the AM/PM on Nebraska Avenue in Selma early last Sunday morning, and surveillance video captured her buying a snack at the store at 4:06 a.m. and then driving away. And she has not been seen or heard from since. Jalissa was driving a gray 2011 Hyundai Accent with the license plate number 8MEU766. The car is also missing. In the first days, the family offered a $1,000 reward to help with the search. That reward has since been increased to $2,000, and now it's up to $5,000. The Selma Police Department considers this a missing persons case and has not said anything about foul play so far, but people do not just up and vanish. The family says that she does not have a history of leaving and to not return the way that she has, and it's certainly not to go this long without making even so much as a phone call. The Selma Police Department says it's supporting the family and looking into any leads that it can get in this active missing persons investigation. They're asking that anyone that has information on this missing young woman to please contact the Selma Police Department at 559-891-2252 and reference case number 22-3386. We're going to just take a look at the timeline of events in Jalissa's disappearance. So on Sunday, August the 7th, she was hanging out with some friends, and at around 3 o'clock in the morning, Jalissa came home, but she ended up leaving to go to that store and buy whatever. At 3:59 a.m., her sister received a missed phone call from Jalissa's number. At 4 a.m., Jalissa was last seen at the Arcos or AM/PM at Highway 43 and Nebraska Avenue. When Jalissa leaves the Arcos, she turns west on Nebraska Avenue. At 5:24 a.m., the sister missed two video chat calls from Jalissa's number at 5:24 and 5:25. The family contacted the Selma Police Department and reported Jalissa missing as soon as they realized that, she had gone for a significant period of time without anyone being able to contact her. There have been various posts on social media about Jalissa, but she is still missing. People have searched for Jalissa's car. It's a gray and silver 2011 Hyundai Accent with California license plate number 8MEU766. This is, let's see here, on the 8th, there were several searches done, and then on the 9th, more searches had taken place. At 6:26 p.m., Selma police issued a BOLO flyer, and they posted it to Facebook. That was on the 9th of August. On Wednesday the 10th and Thursday, the 11th, more searches continued, and Friday, the search still continued, but obviously Jalissa is still missing, or I wouldn't be making this video. And again, they are having a vigil service for her tonight as well. Guys, this young lady deserves to be getting just as much coverage as Kylie Rodney does. This family is in distress. They are looking for answers. They're looking to find their little girl. This is someone's daughter just the same as Kylie is. And we need to get Jalissa's face out on social media. We need to make her case blow up. We need to find out what happened to Jalissa. She was last seen once again around 4 a.m. Sunday, August the 7th. So today marks a week that this young woman's been missing, and she's not getting any coverage at all. Her car does have tinted windows, and there is a dent in the passenger side of her vehicle above the tire. If you've seen something, you need to say something, and you need to get in contact with the authorities if you know anything about this young woman's disappearance. If you have any information, you need to contact the local authorities. And once again, that number I will be happy to put up for you is being handled by the Selma Police Department at 559-891-2252 and reference case number 22-3386. Guys, do me a favor, give this video a like. It does help more people to see her face and to hear her story.
It really does. It really helps to get her seen more in the algorithm. So make sure that if you watch, you know, even if you just jump in and you don't have a second to watch the entire thing, just get the name, do some research, hit the like button, share the video. You know, even if you can't right then that second watch the entire video, you know, at least get it out and then go back to it. And that's what I do a lot of times is I will make sure, you know, as soon as I see an alert, I'll jump in, thumbs up, share, and then later on when I have a little bit more time, then I'll go back and I'll, you know, really get into the details. And that's what I've been doing on the Kylie Rodney case. But, you know, these, the minorities and the people that don't get the runaways, you know, that anybody really, I think it's over the age of 11 or 12, they lump them into the category of a runaway. And so many are lured on social media or by playing games, Roblox. We've seen so many. Snapchat is one of the worst. Kick. You know, we really, really need to spread awareness for this. And that's my whole thing is, you know, I'm not here to solve a crime. I'm here to spread awareness for these really important topics that need to be covered a lot more. You know, we see so much in mainstream media, but we don't see about this type of news that really, really matters. And that's what my channel is for. Is I want to build this channel as crime news that matters. And so we're going to look
Absolutely.
at crimes against children, crimes against humanity. I'm working on a video right now that somebody, a man, drove into a pub in Pennsylvania where they were holding a fundraiser for the family that just lost everything, including their lives, in a huge
Oh,
house
wow.
fire in Pennsylvania. And they were having a fundraiser for it. And this guy drove in, killed one, injured 17 others. Don't know how many. Last I saw the update, it was just one was dead, 17 were injured.
Oh, goodness.
He left the pub, then went to his mother, hit her with the car. That wasn't enough. So then he bludgeoned her with a hammer. And these are the
That's
these are
a
the
thing that they all
topics.
have in common, like the Uvalde shooter and stuff. He got his grandma. This one's getting his mother. They'll go back. It's like they're just on whoever's in their path. They don't see who it is. I mean, how do you attack your mother?
Yeah.
Well, it's not the first time we've heard of someone attacking their mother. Shannon Overstreet, Angel Nicole Overstreet's dad, dragged his mom out into the middle of the driveway and beat the crap out of her.
Oh, that's
Right.
that's
Right.
true. That's true, and that's
Yeah.
another baby who hardly gets any coverage.
Unreal.
Is Angel Nicole Overstreet, and she has been missing. Goodness, I'll have to look it up in a bit to see exactly when she was last seen. I believe it was either 2020 or 2021.
A long time.
It has been a long, long time. But let's go ahead and dive into this timeline and let's see what we can piece together from this. Law enforcement is holding on to 12:33. They're not saying that that's when she shut her phone off. They're saying that she went off the grid. Okay. That can mean more than one thing.
You betcha.
Did it go dead? Did she shut it off? Did it hit water? Was it destroyed?
Yeah.
So many possibilities. To me, these looked like loose fit jeans, but knowing that Dickies can fit like this, now I can understand why they're saying that they were Dickies. So black bodysuit, Dickies, studded belt.
And you know what?
Go ahead.
It looks like she's only wearing one necklace in that. There's that one that almost looks like there's
like right here. It's off to the side almost. It's
It makes me think one of the necklaces may have been on her rearview mirror or something, because I know I have one hanging on mine. So the necklaces are weird to me. That was a weird detail to release to identify someone by. So it makes me feel like she just didn't have one on. There had to be one in the car or something. There has to be something.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And those look to me like white shoes.
They do.
Yeah.
They really, really do.
So
because you can see the floor here, and it goes from this lighter brown to like a darker brown. Might just been shadows or something. But this does look very.
Even the other leg, if you look where it's kind of bent, just a little bit over to the left.
Yeah. Yep.
Right there. Yeah. You betcha.
Yep. And so this was caught on surveillance camera and I have the exact time. Hang on. 6 something or other.
Yeah, I think it was 33.
6:08. She was caught on a surveillance camera at one of the local businesses in Truckee. And now this was a photo that I had not seen before. This is where they are saying that this area is where she was last seen. Now, I don't know how close this is to water. The terrain is very, very rocky. There's many bodies of water.
That's the thing to me, like.
That's what it looks like, white Converse.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And here, like when I just think she's in water. That's the way I feel.
I wasn't thinking that until I went back and listened to or watched the press conferences. And when I realized that they were holding so tight to that 12:33, and then when they said that the last ping was near the water, that to me stood out.
Absolutely. And just the fact that her phone just was off. Just all of a sudden, it was so fast.
Yes. And see, so now here is somebody asked if there was a timeline from law enforcement directly. They replied. So screenshot from the store, 6:08. Phone going off the grid, not shut off.
Right, exactly.
Not dead.
We know that the phone is one of two things. It's either in water or it's been smashed and destroyed, because it's the latest version of the iPhone. And the fact that they're not able to ping it, because that one should be able to be pinged even if it's turned off, even if the battery's dead. So if by the fact that they cannot ping that phone, that means it's either been destroyed or it's submerged in water.
Yeah. And being that they are sticking to that 1233 and not budging, that to me means that it's not likely it was destroyed in a vehicle. It would have been on the ground, and there would be something. There would be something.
Yeah.
A little piece of plastic.
The thing is not necessarily, if someone abducted her, they could have smashed that phone and picked up the pieces or whatever. I mean, that's what I'm saying. We don't know a lot. We don't know that she was actually drunk. She could have been drugged. And that's where my thinking has been, is that someone drugged this girl.
Yes. Yes.
And with the behavior of the Sammy. Not Kylie's family by any means, but if when we look at the key players and we know that this is a very, very heavily involved law enforcement case. They've got lots of manpower on this. There's a reason that people are not coming forward. And so that's what I think gives more credibility to the possibility that she was slipped something, or did she take something? Was it maybe an OD? The thing that put me in the direction of OD is Mag said that when she got there, that there were a bunch of guys trying to force her to do bong rips one after another. And so she felt uncomfortable, but she left after 10 minutes.
Well, I mean, if they were doing bong rips just off a pot, you can't OD on pot. But
no.
If they had laced,
I would have done that years ago. Then
certainly,
right? No, I was thinking along the lines of fentanyl.
Well, yeah.
Yes.
And there was a recent fentanyl bust in the area. There was a recent teen death in Yuba City, which is Reno area. And so it's...
And I mean, she's so young. Like, she's 16. They're all like 18 and up.
There were people there as old as 40 from what I was reading.
Oh, my word.
Yeah. And that's why you got to ask yourself, why would any 40-year-old want to be invading a party full of teenagers? That's very suspect. And the fact that this Sammy has interjected herself front and center in this case all this time, and Jagger too. And they were telling people, hey, give us the leads. Let us filter them for law enforcement. Exactly. I find that very suspect. And I find the fact now that we know that the Sammy, her mom is a lawyer and her dad is a private investigator.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
And why are all these parents telling their kids not to cooperate with law enforcement?
Right?
Yes.
So do you think that Sammy is 18 or 20? Arctic Fox?
Honestly, her age to me doesn't matter. I think she's probably a little bit older than 18. I don't know if she's 20 yet. What I think is suspect, though, is that Sammy and Jagger were following each other on social media, but Sammy wasn't following her so-called best friend on social media. So
yes. And do you know what? I just seen the reward has gone up by another 25,000, so it's up to 75K.
Correct.
Good.
And
yes.
The other thing is that Jagger has been deleting stuff off of his social media. Some of these kids have been deleting their social media altogether. Why are they doing that? Why is there no video footage other than that 5-second clip and a few pictures that look like they were taken on potato phones in order? I mean, there's nothing out there.
That's it.
Yeah, I know.
And I mean, I remember when I was a kid and I took my camera with me because you wanted those fun pictures. So that nowadays, I mean, they should be everywhere, those photos.
And you have Sammy talking about how there were boxing gloves at these parties and how there used to be fights break out at these parties and stuff. I mean, and like Single Mama 4 said, Jagger is the ex of both Sammy and Kylie. There's also that route to take. Did they get into a fight over Jagger?
Yeah.
Oh, isn't that something? I didn't know that. Wow. Yeah. Sammy's pretty sus.
Yeah, very, very much so. Let's see. There was okay, and then this is another part of the timeline. This one actually came from Reddit. So let's go over this one first, and then we'll interject with that one. So we've already got the surveillance camera. So they go to the party. Was supposed to be, an end of summer, end of year type of party. Ended up being over, allegedly 300 people. Drugs, alcohol, which we know. And they say that Kylie has enough drinks to become drunk, according to her friend and recent graduate, Sammy Smith. Okay, if it comes from Sammy, I'm not so sure if I want to give it 100% credibility, to be honest. Kylie texts her mother around 11:30, so we really don't know. Is one thing that I'd like to find out from her mom was it, how people write a certain way, or they use certain punctuation or what have you. I wonder if her mom feels that text message came from Kylie. That was one thing that with Gabby's case, that she knew that Gabby didn't send that text message.
Yep, exactly.
And so text her around 11:30, said that she was planning on leaving around 12:15.
Yeah.
Now we'll go over here.
And only 12 miles away from home.
Yes, and only 12 miles away from home, exactly. And so she was last physically seen at 12:30, and that was confirmed by law enforcement. And then goes off grid at 12:33, and then that's when we then get the Sammy timeline, which that's where I start to question things. Is at that point, at that 12:36, that changes things for me, because if she went off grid, how did she make a call, or how did she receive a call 3 minutes later?
Yep, her phone's not showing it at all. So
you just can't trust teenagers. You have to assume that they're lying, because that's what teenagers do, and I hate to put it that way, but I'm starting to learn that they all do that. It's part of the teenage thing. So I mean, I'm not saying that they're responsible for something with her, but I mean, there's some reason these kids, I haven't watched very much of this because I've been pretty busy, so I listen to a lot of it, but what I have seen, these kids are very nervous about something.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
and when you start putting together all the red flags, Sammy and Jagger asking to sort through leads, Sammy interjecting herself in this from day one, her story changing, her timeline not adding up with when the phone goes off grid. I mean, that's a lot of red flags, and it doesn't take an eye
they're liars and they
doctor.
suck at it kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to have 20/20 vision to see all the red flags in this case. So,
said.
And my question is, how did Kylie even get her car out? If there were 300 cars there, I've been to car shows where there's 300 cars. You ain't going nowhere until other people start moving their cars. So how did she even get her car out to go anywhere?
Yes, she was
Y'all,
impaired.
what size of an area is this? I can't even wrap my head around. Where were they at for 250 people together?
But
was this outside event?
Yeah, it's this is up near like Lake Tahoe, Donner Lake.
Got you.
Yeah.
Let's see. Sluggy asks, do you all think there was actually 300 kids? And do you believe Kylie actually made it? Could her phone have and her car, but what about her? Hard to say about the 300 kids because we haven't really seen pictures, and what we have seen, it certainly doesn't look like 300, but
I think she made it there.
I do think she made it there because it law enforcement confirms at 12 that she was seen at 12:30.
Yeah.
And they also confirmed, which I believe I have do I have the screenshot in here? No, I don't. I have it in another.
So who organizes this? Is this something that's organized by the teens in the area, like when we used to just go out and crash and have a bonfire in a field? Or is this something... Yeah, it's just they all just show up and party?
Allegedly, this had been planned for... like 6 weeks, but we can't find anything.
Yeah, allegedly it had been advertised heavily on social media, but yet there's not one flyer to be found anywhere advertising this party. And I know that law enforcement says that they're confirming that Kylie was there, but what proof do we have? We don't have any pictures of Kylie at the party. Who is it saying that they saw Kylie? Is it another Sammy? Because if it is, we can't take her word for anything.
Exactly.
Heck no.
Exactly. So if it's, if it's something that law enforcement is giving us, then it must mean that they have substantiated those claims and that then they can give them to us. And I think that it really says something of the fact that, everything that Sammy has been saying and Jagger and Mags and everybody who has spoken is the how do I word this?
Well, and Sammy and Jagger, they don't have anyone backing up what they say either.
Exactly. Yes, they don't have anybody corroborating their statements.
That's right.
That law enforcement. So in other words, law enforcement is going to have to do their own vetting process before they give us that information.
I agree. Yeah.
Let's see. Sluggy says, usually kids upload right after they take. They wouldn't wait to post. They didn't know she was missing until the next morning at 9. Where are the pics that were posted between the party and 9 a.m.? Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, and then when you read that out loud, where my mind goes is they didn't post any pictures because they didn't want to incriminate themselves. That's right. Kids post as soon as they take the picture. My daughter goes to the fair. What happens before she's back home? I see 3 posts on TikTok.
Yeah.
Shoot, Levi's at the fair.
That's very odd.
Yeah, Levi's at the fair right now. He already posted a video up on his channel about him being at the fair. So.
Yeah, how many times do we have to tell these kids, don't show everyone where you're at, wait till you get home, but they do it. They can't help it. It's just today's world.
Yes.
Well, and now you can take a photo that someone has taken and you can take it over to Google and it'll tell you exactly where it was taken.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's spooky.
Yes. Yes, it is very, very spooky. Can you guys take over for just a quick second? I will be right back.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'll be right back.
So the other thing that has my mind reeling is that as of 2 days ago, there were already 50 FBI agents interjected in this case. That is not par for the course in a standard kidnapping case or a standard missing persons case, even.
Exactly.
And how many other girls are missing from this area?
There's not a lot. We covered that one girl that's missing out of California, but she's from a different area. There was a boy that I did a video on that was missing from that same area, but he has since been found. But Jalissa, she's missing from a different area of California. She's in Selma, California. But I'm sure there are other kids missing from that area. But the thing is we don't have anything to say, hey, did those girls have anything to do with that party or whatnot? So,
right.
Well, and I'm kind of curious.
Go ahead, Frankie. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. I'm just kind of curious. Do we know for sure if Jagger is where he said he was that night? Like, because he was not supposed to be in that area.
That's true. He was in Reno, I believe is what they said.
Yeah.
And everything keeps circling back to Reno. Why were Sammy and Jagger looking for Kylie in Reno, which is miles away from where this party took place?
Yeah.
They're the ones who introduced Reno into this all, correct?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Also.
And so that's what I was, when I heard that about that they were searching in Reno, I'm like, okay, well, maybe she didn't make it to the party. But then when I saw the post from law enforcement confirming that she had gone to the party, then it was like, okay, well, that gives that credibility. So at least we know she was physically there, unless they are going based. Are they going based on something that they have seen? Have they laid eyes on her? Look how many of our other cases where CPS was supposed to lay eyes on a child and they didn't. And, Serenity McKinney, Harmony Montgomery, Oakley Carlson. I mean, we can go on and on and on. And actually that brings me to the other topic that I wanted to talk about. And tomorrow morning we will actually
I'm working on that right now.
Streaming what is going on with this. Arctic, would you like to give the overview of Cyberslut?
Okay. So
she's been waiting her whole life to say that.
Yes, I have.
I call it like I see it, and this case is just a travesty of justice. And what's going to happen is this poor little girl, Everly, is going to end up being the next Harmony Montgomery if we don't do something about this. Her mother was dating one gangbanger boyfriend who ended up getting shot and killed. And now, let's see, she gave up both of her boys because Everly has two brothers. Both those boys have been adopted by the egg donor Cyberslut's mom. And are being raised by her. And then, so she gets knocked up by a different man while she's living in another area. And that father didn't stick around either. So she basically hands off, let's see here. She basically hands off the child to her cousin to raise. Doesn't have any contact with this child for over a year. And so she decides one day that she wants to be a mom because I think it's just that she's upset that Angela, the cousin, had gotten, she had gone and she was establishing she was establishing custody of the child. And so she goes to court, and there's a guardian ad litem appointed, and the guardian ad litem goes in there, and she says that she's not in favor of this Samantha getting custody back of the child. But what she fails to tell the court is how this mother is making her money. I mean, this is a woman. If you've seen the article, you know the type of pictures that are up all over her social media, and she's making advertisements about discounts for 2 for 1 and all this stuff on her social media. I mean, this judge goes against the wishes of the guardian ad litem and rules in favor of this cyber slut mommy to get back custody of her kids. Oh, I forgot the part where she transported her daughter in the back of a U-Haul truck unrestrained. So, yeah, there's that. And this judge is already under scrutiny because she denied a protective order to a woman who later got shot in the head by her live-in boyfriend. So, yeah, it is a crazy case, and this girl is in danger. And the link to the article is all over my community page and Facebook and everywhere. And anyone that wants the article that hasn't seen it, certainly reach out to me. I'll send it to you. I've done a live stream on this. I've done a video on this. Anyway, tomorrow, Angela is supposed to hand over the child to Cyber Slut Mama. Yes. And they tried to get a temporary court injunction. It was denied. They didn't even look at it. So what we're asking everyone to do is to blow up the governor's office, the attorney general's office.
Not literally.
The phone lines. But, call them.
Gotta know your audience.
Right?
Yeah. But no. Call them, hound them, email them, fill up their phone lines, fill up their emails. Also, when you share the lives and the videos out, because Level did a live on this over on his channel too, make sure you tag every news agency you can, the local ones as well as HLN, MSN, Newsmax. I've tagged Brian Enton numerous times. So, yeah, it's important that we get this out. I've reached out to a number of creators to try to get coverage. Thankfully, Frankie's covering it. I think Jules is going to cover it over on her channel. But I put a call to action out on my community tab as well as on my Facebook page for every creator that's involved in true crime to try to cover this so we can prevent another Harmony. Because if it does happen and this girl goes missing or worse, I promise you that's when these bigger creators will decide to cover it.
That's it.
Yeah, and it shouldn't have to get to that. New Hampshire and Massachusetts failed Harmony Montgomery. Both. They can sit there and they can try to point fingers back and forth at each other, but they are both responsible for
Adam getting her back.
Yes, for Adam getting her custody to begin with when he shouldn't have had it. And I don't want to see Everly fall through the cracks. We've seen way too many kids fall through the cracks. And I don't want to, if I can do anything to prevent one of God's angels from falling through the cracks, then
absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it's just a disaster waiting to happen.
Yeah.
Some of those pictures, I was like,
oh, I know.
Oh, and how do they not know? Like, they have to know.
Of course they have to know. I mean, they knew about Harmony.
Yes.
I'm tired of covering these cases where CPS screws these kids over. And it's not just Harmony. It's not just Angel
yeah.
Nicole Overstreet. It's not just Oakley Carlson. There's Cody Bigsby. There was a case in Texas.
Serenity McKinney. All of them.
There was a
It's all the
case
states.
There was a case I covered in Texas, okay, where there were a set of siblings that actually lived with the skeletal remains of their little brother for 6 months.
Oh, yes, that was in Houston. Yeah, that was the Houston House
Yeah.
of Horrors. I remember
Yeah.
that one. Yeah. And then
Miss
with
Gloria
the,
was their mother. I remember her. Oh,
yes. And then the Turpin family, you know, in California.
yeah.
Luckily, none of those children died, but they were just re-victimized when they were put in foster care and then violated. And
you bet.
it's and that's my home county. So that my original home county. I now don't live in California, but so that one really, really hits me at home. And if my cousin would get off her duff and go to Riverside County Courthouse for me, I'd have the documents. I'm just kidding. She's been going out of town for work, but I can give her a little hell every now and then because I've been telling her I want those documents.
Sluggy, where did you send those pictures to? Because I didn't see them in my Twitter, I didn't see them in my Facebook, and I did not see them in my email, so I don't know.
Let's see. Well,
here we
True
go.
Crime
I just
and
got
Coffee.
one.
Oh, you got
I
them?
got them.
Okay.
Yeah.
True Crime and Coffee. You want to talk about Hartman?
Well, what do we want to know about Hartman? That's the one I've been digging into, but
Yes.
I don't really know what his
been-
charges are. I'll be honest, because his daughter came at me a little bit, and it got me to just dig into known associates and different people of that nature. So
I don't think I know about this case.
he's a monster.
Oh.
He's a monster.
He is definitely a monster. Let me get to the file where I have his stuff.
Where's he from?
He is from Arkansas. And he has escaped custody.
You know,
Are you familiar with this one, Arctic Fox?
I haven't done a video on it. I did post the flyer. I haven't really done a lot of digging into it.
Gotcha. I didn't know if it was a big news down there. I know that he SA'd a child. I didn't know if that was something, which I know that happens commonly everywhere, so I guess it wouldn't make big news.
Yeah.
How do these guys keep escaping?
I don't know. There was one
right
in
here. I'll
Texas.
tell you, because of Misty Hartman and Linda Annette Wyatt. These ladies, it's the women.
Right
they're
here.
getting these women, and they're helping these men. It's crazy.
They're helping him.
Oh my God! And he's like 5'9".
Yeah, 5'9", 230 pounds.
He's a box.
Yeah, and he was out on a work detail. Now, I have a dark past. I've been to prison. I never hide that ever. I use my past as inspiration to try and recognize the red flags in other scenarios to try and prevent something.
Well, you've got a different view than
I can look at things with the from the prison mindset. I didn't have a long sentence. It was I was only in for a year.
Oh my God, but that's got to be for like ever.
Oh yeah. Oh, trust me. I mean, a cop car pulls behind me when I'm driving, I go into an instant panic attack.
Oh yeah, I took the
even though I know I'm like I haven't done anything. I'm just like I haven't done anything. But just even if I hear sirens, sometimes it'll
PTSD. I'm sure. Right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. But so I have seen how people on life sentences, they have nothing else but time. And they will try and, I know women, of course, because I was only in the women's prison, so I can only say from there. But
But were the male guards messing with the girls? Like, was that
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the maintenance guy was definitely involved with some of the inmates at the compound where I was.
Yep.
But there's a bunch of like pen pal websites that all of these thirsty people write to serial killers and pedophiles and all of that. And
I can't even imagine.
I've been curious about that. So there's actually like websites, like a Craigslist for pen pals.
Yes.
Oh my Lord. That's how he got a wife then, because this wife is new. This Misty, she's been like, she's not the mother of any of the children that he violated or anything of that nature from what I can find. She's new. So this is probably one he snagged since he's been in jail.
Oh.
We're 9 signatures away from Everly's petition. 9 signatures away from 1,000. That's awesome.
You bet.
That is
so
awesome.
Is the other one like a pen guard or something?
So this is now media was originally reporting that Misty was a sister and that Linda Annette White is mother. But then I had gotten a comment on one of my on my videos that I had posted, and she clarified and said that Misty was actually his wife. So we started digging. Well, I shouldn't say we. Julia started digging, and this is what gave me the credibility, because I can tell that this was taken at visitation.
Okay.
I bet that's their wedding picture. I don't know that, but I can see that being their wedding picture. Can't you? They got married at the jailhouse. It's the blue clouds. Definitely. All of them that get married at jail have that same background.
Yep.
Oh, is that right?
You can go and look. They all have that background.
Prison. That's one thing for prison. There's some amazing artists in prison.
Absolutely. Some of the smartest people out there end up in the Hooskow for life.
Oh, yeah. I mean, let's look at Ted Bundy.
You bet.
He was very, very intelligent.
And good looking for back in the day.
Oh, yeah. Back in the day, yeah.
You bet.
Yeah.
And just a sick puppy.
Yes.
Thank goodness they've started building better looking men now, ladies. I'm telling you what.
I know.
If Ted Bundy's all we had to look forward to, I'd be hurting.
Right.
But
he was a slick one.
Absolutely.
Yes, he was. And so is this guy. So, I mean, they had everything going. So here he is. He's a life sentence. According to what I have found and based on his appeal, he was convicted of violating his 9-year-old stepdaughter. Not once, more than once, and he admitted to doing it. And
yes, confessed. That was something that a relative of an ex-wife of his made very clear, is that he confessed. It's not he was accused. He confessed he done it. He admitted to it.
Well, the one big question I have is, what is wrong with all these women named White? We got Vicky White. We got this lady White. I mean, is there something?
Eric said the exact same thing.
Is there something in that family tree that just ain't right? I mean, I don't know what the deal is. And as far as Ted Bundy goes, that man had fan clubs of women trying to get all over him. I'm like,
oh yeah.
I mean,
and then he ended up marrying one of them and has a kid out there
on the stand.
Around. There's a Bundy baby. He
married the witness while she was on the stand.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand the internet wasn't available back then and there weren't as many videos for women to watch or whatnot, but Jesus. I mean, come
Poor things didn't have nothing to do but ride on Ted Bundy. That is wild. I can't even take it seriously, but I know we shouldn't be laughing. It's real life. These poor women
I
have
know.
ruined their lives for these pieces of crap men. It's crazy.
Yes,
Absolutely.
yes.
I remember talking to, I think her name's Kiely Rodni, and she is the surviving victim of Bundy from Florida.
From the sorority house?
Yes, you betcha.
Wow.
You betcha. And yeah, she's got a lot of anger in there, you know.
Oh, I'm
it's
sure.
Like, okay,
I'm
like
sure.
want to talk PTSD, try surviving Bundy after he's gone through your house.
You know, the one that I've actually emailed and back and forth with her is BTK's daughter.
Oh,
yeah.
You bet. Yeah, she is a sweetheart, and she talks
is so sweet.
She is, and she talks to oh my goodness, Libby's older sister,
Yes,
Kelsey
that's
German.
Yep,
Yeah,
that's how I got in touch with her.
Okay, and it's just, you know, you see the two of them communicate, and it's just like, now isn't that an odd dynamic? But I understand how they get each other.
Yeah.
But yeah. And I mean, BTK was, whoo.
Oh, yeah, he was out. I mean, talk about living a double life. I mean, here he is, you know, living in, I believe, wasn't it Kansas, if I'm not mistaken? And I mean, a pastor and wow.
Oh, yeah, just like, and, you know, very violent at home, which a lot of people don't quite understand. They think that he was at home and he was like a prize, but no. I mean, she deals with PTSD her own self.
Oh, yeah. So he is still wanted. They are all three wanted, actually, and they are to be all considered armed and dangerous. So if you see them, do not approach them. They might be in this 2021 Chevy Trail Boss Z71. It's got the black rims. And
if we learned anything from Vicky White and Casey White, that vehicle is no longer with them.
Exactly.
Oh.
Unless they're broke, because she did have a chunk of money, you know.
True. But they said that, you know, if they're driving this, could have an Arkansas license plate, or could have none at all. So he escaped from a work detail. Now, why in the world, with his charges, why was he outside the gate? Right? Maybe Arkansas is different in regards to that, but I know in Georgia, and I know just based on the people that I saw that would you know, go outside the gate, I went outside the gate, but some people, you know, I knew that depending on the certain charge, certain prisoners or inmates, they were not allowed to go outside the gate, and violating a 9-year-old little girl, I think, would apply that you would not want that inmate outside the gate.
Absolutely.
But that's just me. Because
and
one thing with and he's a lifer.
Sense.
And the thing is with work detail is the guard will usually just stay at the van, and that the inmates will be out, you know, doing their work. The guard doesn't follow them around every single step of the way.
Do they have large groups of men that go out and one guy watching them, or are they relatively small?
Usually, from what I've seen, 6 to 10 in one group.
Okay.
By that has one armed guard, if not two, with them. But anytime that I've seen them doing road detail or anything, the guard has been at the back of the van, and they've been, you know, out on the highways picking up trash or, doing whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
I know in Kentucky, if you're on work detail, I mean, people that I know that have been in prison and stuff, if they get something of that nature, isn't that a privilege? Like you have to have a really good record and be
Right.
making
go
progression
outside
towards your release date and things.
That's what I thought.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so why the heck was a lifer on work release?
Yeah.
And that was one thing that I had read in the article, that he had had several violations for contraband. So if he's already had all these contraband violations, then why was he even assigned outside the gate?
So many reasons.
Yeah. Wow. So I'm hoping that we get some more coverage on it tomorrow, because he last they saw, they found jet skis that they believe is how he crossed the Mississippi River. And so
wow.
Are
you freaking kidding me?
No, I'm dead serious.
Oh my word.
This is a movie. They jumped some jet skis across the Mississippi River. They don't play in Arkansas. This is crazy. That man is running for his life with these ladies. I don't want to cross none of them. Word. I know he's a monster and everything. I don't want to cross none of them. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Well, look at let me see. Did I save the where did I put it?
I'll tell you all, this Hartman lady, Misty Hartman, she's probably, now I don't want to assume anything about her, but this lady has several children. I'm talking, it looks like she used to be a very devoted mother, It shows clearly that she's raised a family with another person. So something's drug her off that straight and narrow she used to be on. So she's definitely an unstable woman, I'm sure. And with the other lady being his mother, Lord have mercy. You can't put nothing past them if they're jumping jet skis and stuff like that. That's crazy.
Right?
Okay, so that's how it is. It's the mother and the girlfriend / wife?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this was the last briefing that we got from law enforcement. And this was after they crossed the mighty Mississippi with those jet skis.
Oh my word.
Received a call from the...
What happened? I don't know why it did that. I'll just do it this way. So let's see. Arkansas on Friday. Oops.
Oh yeah, you're right. That is a movie. Jumps on some jet skis.
He's still believed to be
I don't know why.
Armed and dangerous. We are asking public that if you come into contact with Daniel Paul Hartman, please do not approach him, but safely get to safety and call 911 immediately. He was believed to be in the Tunica County area after abandoning a vehicle just west of Tunica County, on the Arkansas side of the river. That is just west of where we are right now from the casino area. It was told to Tunica County officials by Arkansas State Police that a farmer reported to have seen abandoned jet skis on a boat ramp just 2.5 miles south along the river at Moon Landing Park. That is, if you were traveling directly across from where we are in Tunica County to where the vehicle was abandoned in Arkansas, the jet skis would have traveled about 2.5 miles south of here to where we located the jet skis. When the jet skis were located, the Mississippi Bureau of Investigations did make scene and took possession of the jet skis. It has been confirmed that a cell phone and a set of keys were recovered on the jet skis. They were collected and taken into evidence and turned over to the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation, where they are further investigating the owners or possible origination of the cell phone and keys found in those jet skis. When the call came in, we urged area schools to go into lockdown as a safety precaution. Later, as the investigation continued, we were able to allow the schools to safely go into regular schedule. And at 3 o'clock, all schools dismissed at their usual time. We had officers on scene at all of our campuses to assist in getting the children home safely and dismissed from their respective campuses. We can confirm that there are 2 identified suspects believed to be assisting Hartman in his escape. One is a white female identified as Misty Hartman. Miss Hartman is believed to be the sister of the suspect, Samuel Paul Hartman, as well as Linda White. She is believed to be the mother. At this time, we are still investigating the extent and the number of individuals that assisted in the escape. It was last reported to us that it is the 1 suspect at large and possibly 3 additional that helped him escape. 2 of those we can confirm suspects are the mother and Miss Misty Hartman. This investigation is ongoing, and as we get information into our office, we are working to confirm the validity of the information. And once we can confirm the validity of that information, that is as we are releasing it to you all, once it is confirmed information and factual. There have been calls that have come in of possible sightings, none that have been confirmed yet. That is part of what we are also working on, to confirm any tips or leads that come into our office or any of the additional agencies assisting. Right now, our agency is still believing that he could be in Tunica County and still actively searching our entire county as well. You know what time? I do not know the exact time that he would have arrived.
I can't even right now.
At just before 8:20 this morning, the call came in to notify that it is possible that he could have crossed from where he escaped and the abandoned vehicle was found into Tunica County. All local businesses and casinos in the area are on high alert. They will remain on high alert as long as we believe that the suspect and additional accessories are at large. That information has not been provided directly to us in the field yet. It is just believed that they are 2 that have been confirmed suspects to be assisting him.
The SWAT team did raid the trailer that was in Tunica County, which is located, oh no, that's his other address. So that's what the picture that we got from the raid. But we didn't get much more information besides that, which the trailer home was on Carp Drive in... Yay! You got mail. Anyway, so they raided because somebody had spotted the truck in the driveway. When the SWAT team got there, the truck was not there. Neither was Misty or Linda or Samuel. But it did look like that he had planned on staying there for a while. So they looks like they uprooted his plans. And so now we just wait. We don't really have much more information. So just like we did with Casey and Vicky White, we just waited until we got more information, and I will be bringing you updates as often as I can. This is my main backup channel. I am in the works with YouTube of getting my original channel back. So fingers crossed, hopefully we'll get that reinstated this week. And otherwise, please share more missing than just Kylie, because
Absolutely.
Kylie's not the only person that's missing. There's so many
Absolutely.
others, and we need to advocate for them just as much as the world is advocating for Kylie.
Exactly. I just want to, I just kind of want to recap this and to make sure I understand. So he escapes from prison. He makes it across with jet skis, and the first place he goes is to the casino. This really is a James Bond movie.
Oh my word!
I didn't think about that, but I mean, there is Sam's Town right back there.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness!
Arctic, did you have an beside Jalissa, did you want me to pull up any others before we end?
That was the main one because that one really hasn't been getting a lot of attention. I've done like 13 videos today. Would be here all day if we covered all of them. So
I know. I know you are a beast when it comes to the missing, but I absolutely love it.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Absolutely love it. So here is the link to the video for Jalissa. Please go watch. Please hit that thumbs up button. Please share the video, and let's get these babies home to their family. And when we can't bring them home, let's make sure that they get justice, because that's, if we can do one thing, and I've seen how beautiful this community is when we work together, and that's why we call ourselves the Real Crime Team, because we are real people, we have real hearts, and these are real lives. It's not just true stories. Yes, these are true stories, and these are true crime stories, but these are real lives, and they are there's a break, and the family, regardless what happens, the family deserves closure. Like we were able to bring Barbara, Timmy's mom, and it took a long time, but
no, there's still not fully closure on that, and that'll be discussed in a future video.
Okay, good. I know that you've got Barbara under your wing, so I know that she's in good hands. And so,
and please, I am also I'm working on trying to get I'm trying to get this young lady that's missing out of California. Excuse me. I'm trying to get Jalissa's family to come on the channel and talk. So I'm in the process of talking with them too. So
nice.
Good. And let me make sure that I drop all of your. Let me drop your links. Oh, Frankie, you're almost to 500.
I know, right?
I have been sharing her stuff left and right and advertising her on my community page.
Good.
I try to do the same.
Good. And let me get level-headed in here. Copy.
It's amazing. You start diving into some of these cases and you end up missing so much. You kind of come out of the clouds and you go, oh my God, what's been going on?
Yes.
Yes. You need to check out one of the videos I put out today about this woman that's been missing since 2019.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Is that right?
Yes.
I will do that.
I'll make sure that you have the link.
Where is that at it?
It is on his channel. Let me. It is right here.
What is going on, YouTube? This is Arctic Fox. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are having an amazing weekend. I know a lot of you have been requesting that I do some of the longer format videos. and do more lives, and I am working on that. And today's video is actually going to be one of the longer format videos. We're going to be looking at a case that dates all the way back to 2019, and I do intend on trying to get the family members to come on my live show to talk about the missing person that our case is about today. Today, we will be discussing the missing persons case of Regina Orozco, who went missing from Roebuck, South Carolina on the 18th of January, 2019. At the time of her disappearance, Regina was 59 years old, 5'4", 170 pounds, with graying brown hair. At the time that she went missing, Regina had been living with her youngest daughter and son-in-law, and allegedly she left a note saying that she was going to Alaska. However, the two oldest daughters say that this note was not written by their mother. It was not even in her handwriting, and it was in poor English, and their mother always used proper English, both when she spoke and in her writings. Regina had 3 daughters and a son. And her 2 oldest daughters, Gina and Michelle, believe that their mother is most likely deceased. They do not believe that their mom simply left of her own accord, mostly because Regina was not financially stable enough to just up and leave. These girls, they want answers. They desperately want to know what happened to their mother, as you can imagine any daughter or any son would or should. But as we get into this video further, you will realize that unfortunately, Regina, her daughters, the 2 oldest, are the only ones that are trying to find out what happened to her. The 2 youngest siblings are not making any effort to try to find out what happened to their mother. More concerning is that Regina left behind her debit card and all of her belongings when she vanished. Gina and Michelle, they're certain that their mom would not just leave for Alaska without any financial resources at her disposal. Also, Regina didn't even know anybody in Alaska. So why would this woman take off for Alaska if she didn't even know anybody there? Why wouldn't she go somewhere where she had someone to help her establish a new life if that's what she was going to do? According to Gina and Michelle, their youngest sister and brother have made no effort to try to locate their missing mother. They would like their youngest sister and her husband to take a lie detector test. Although lie detectors are kind of hit or miss and they aren't allowed in a court of law, Gina and Michelle would feel better if a lie detector test was given. According to Gina and Michelle, the youngest sister refuses to take a lie detector test, which again is a red flag in my book. Obviously, as you can imagine, there is a rift in the family dynamic between Gina and Michelle and the 2 other siblings. And unfortunately, at this time, Gina and Michelle are not even on speaking terms with the other siblings, as they believe that they know more about their mother's disappearance than what they are letting on. And Gina and Michelle are determined to get to the bottom of what happened to their mother. The 2 older siblings want law enforcement to do a handwriting analysis on the letter that Regina supposedly left behind. However, law enforcement says that the reason the handwriting looks off on the letter was probably because the letter was written in distress, but the older siblings do not agree with this. The thing is, if we can get to the bottom of who wrote the letter, then we can also make progress in what happened to Regina, and more importantly, who is responsible for her disappearance. More suspicious yet is that the brother has sent texts to Gina telling her that she just needs to leave everything alone. Unfortunately, as I said at the beginning of this video, if you try to research the disappearance of Regina, you won't find much. There's been no media coverage other than one really great podcast done by the Catch My Killer podcast, and I will link that in the description box of the video down below. It is up to us, the real crime community, to give Regina and her 2 oldest daughters a voice and to put the pressure on law enforcement to start taking Regina's disappearance seriously. Gina and Michelle are determined to do whatever it takes to find out what happened to their mom. Michelle did not even know that her mom was missing until February, at which time she was informed by text message by the other siblings, the two youngest ones. This is a huge red flag. When Gina contacted local authorities, they advised her that her mom had been missing since January and that Regina apparently had gotten into an argument with the younger sister and just took off. But everything was left behind, even her purse that she took everywhere with her. Also concerning is the younger sister's claim that Regina left without so much as shoes on her feet. Bear in mind that the sister that Regina had been living with lives in a heavily wooded area with lots of gravel, which would make taking off barefooted next to impossible. What is alarming to me is the youngest sister's claim that Regina left a note saying that she was going to Alaska and gave the sister her debit card to pay all of her bills. According to Michelle, her mother would never trust anyone with her debit card. She was very, very particular about her money. Initially, the sister and her husband did agree to take that lie detector test, but they bailed on the day that the test was supposed to occur. Gina and Michelle have been passed around between investigators and feel as though law enforcement has never taken their mother's disappearance seriously. And conveniently enough, the youngest sister's husband works with the local law enforcement that is handling the case. And this is a very small town where everyone knows everything. And so, as you can imagine, there are some conflicts of interest going on. Michelle feels as though her mother is no longer with us, and she prays that if that is the case, that her mother did not suffer. The younger siblings have given various stories on what happened to Regina, and to this day, the youngest sister is still collecting Regina's Social Security benefits and using her debit card. Michelle was told by investigators that this was a cold case and that they were pronouncing their mother dead. And when the youngest sister was made aware of this, you would think she would have had a reaction of sorrow, of sadness, but no. Instead, her reaction raises a lot of red flags in that she got mad at Michelle for telling her what the police had informed her of, rather than being upset that her mother may be deceased. This case, it's not getting the media attention that it deserves. And it should be national news, in my opinion, as weird and as upsetting as it is, especially when you've got this odd family dynamic where two sisters are accusing the other two siblings of being involved in the disappearance. We also need to put the heat on Spartanburg County, their sheriff's office, to take this case seriously and to help Gina and Michelle get to the bottom of what happened to their mother. Anyone with information about what happened to Regina or her whereabouts needs to contact the Spartanburg County Sheriff's Office at 864-384-0499. Guys, we need to get this case out there. I cannot believe I had not heard of this case until one of Regina's daughters reached out to me. And I'm telling you, had it not been for that one podcast, I would not have been able to put the information together for this video. So do me a favor. Help me to be a voice for Regina and for.
Yes, so please let's help get more awareness going for her.
That was an awesome video.
Oh, I'm telling you, girl, he's amazing.
Truly, you're right.
Thank you. You're going to make me blush.
Oh.
Yeah, no, great job.
All right, guys. Well, we are almost pushing an hour and a half. So
yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming. And, for when we look at things, and I know you guys know this, but for everybody watching, when you see something on social media, consider the source. If it's not factual, take it with a grain of salt.
Absolutely.
And dig for facts, because facts matter.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for having me up on panel.
Yes, thank you for coming up on panel. And I will see you guys again next time. Love you all.
Bye.
Night.
Bye.